Hi everyone, today is a full day in Nanning. I'm going to show you the view out the window. I requested a river view and they have not let me down. But first, we're going to go and get some breakfast. I'm definitely the only Westerner here. Well, that was breakfast. I think I arrived just after rush hour because it was absolute bedlam down there and the whole place was cleaned out. The manager came and had to make a note of what needed to be restocked. Anyway, one of my favourite authors, Paul Theroux, in a book called The Last Train to Zona Verde, he was in an elephant sanctuary in Namibia, and one of the guys there said, never get between an elephant and the water. They also said never get between a tourist and the buffet. And I wasn't quite trampled to death this morning, but it was busy. I had to wait until there was less people wandering around before I could even film anything. It was just manic. Anyway, I'm going to show you the view out my window. This is what you get when you request a river view. You know there's something wrong with the system when you have more motorcyclists using pedestrian crossings than pedestrians. This is not a paid endorsement, please remember that, not a paid endorsement. When I'm away I usually stay at Accor hotels. Screaming kids in this temple here. Accor hotels such as Ibis, Mercure, Novotel. Great hotels, great prices, you know what to expect every time. No nasty surprises. And the best thing is, and it might be an insecurity thing from my point of view, they all speak English at the front desk. If I can't find an Accor hotel, I'll stay at a Hilton brand, maybe Intercontinental Hotel Group, maybe a Best Western, but they will always speak English at the front desk. Now this was booked through booking.com and I've never had any problems with them. Again, not a paid endorsement guys, not a paid endorsement. But booking.com is fantastic, never had any issues. So I get to the Golden Holiday Hotel here in Nanning and it takes 25 minutes to check in. Now the reason why, it took a little while to work out because I know what they're going to ask me. And so I've got the passport ready, I've got the confirmation ready. The problem was there was an IT issue and none of the 4 staff on duty could speak a word of English. So it took a little while for the message to get across, but we finally got there. One of the more interesting things about staying in a Chinese hotel is that the breakfasts are Chinese. Now if I'd stayed at an Accor hotel, I would have had my scrambled eggs, my fried sausages, maybe muesli, maybe orange juice. But no, not at the Golden Holiday Hotel. You have things such as various types of noodles and here we go, warm sweet potato juice. And that is an acquired taste, I can assure you. Anyway, we're going to go exploring and I'll see you when I get to one of the larger parks in the northwest part of the town. I've got to tell you a little story. I was speaking to a woman named Jenny in Shanghai when I went down to the Bund on Friday night to see the lights, and she was asking where I was going after Shanghai and I said Nanning, and she said, why are you going to Nanning? And I said, because it's in the way. And she went, what? And I said, well, I'm travelling through to Hanoi. You can't get a through train. You have to change in Nanning. The trains don't connect, so you have to spend the night in Nanning. I may as well spend 2 nights in Nanning and have a look at the place. And she was adamant there was nothing in Nanning to see. So let's prove her wrong. That snail's about 2.5 inches long. Look at the size of it. Nanning People's Park, the place to be on a Sunday afternoon. Just had my first photo request of the day. This woman wanted her sons to stand stealthily behind me so they could take a photo, but I caught her off guard. So I agreed to it, and one sat on either side of me and we had our photo taken. I can just imagine if I had my son stand next to an Indian guy at home and say, stand next to that Indian guy and I'll take a photo. You can imagine what would happen. Over here it just seems to be, oh, there's a foreigner, let's have our photo taken with him. It's actually quite funny. I could just imagine Britain's health and safety executive having a meltdown if you try to get planning permission for this. It's a very hot and humid day today, and against my better judgment I decided to come into the greenhouse to look at some cacti. There's actually no difference in the humidity between what's outside and in this greenhouse. I remember when I was living in Sydney, Australia, and I was a kid, people used to have these in their gardens, and if you're fooling around and you fell on one, you never did it again. They were really sore. As soon as there's a few drops of rain, everyone disappears. I've got this area too myself, not a single person to be seen anywhere. Either they're scared of rain, or they know something I don't know. Anyway, I'm finding the spots of rain quite refreshing because I'm soaked in sweat anyway, so it doesn't matter whether I get soaked in rain. Everyone's gone. I'm just heading up to Nanhu Lake to have a look around. When we were at the Nanning People's Park, I was following around a security guard, or I don't know what she was, but she was wearing a black uniform and she had the Chinese flag there. So I knew she was part of Big Brother. And she was going around to groups of people having picnics, 5 or more people, and photographing them. And then obviously must have been asking, why are you sitting here? They really don't take any prisoners in China, and they really don't like the idea of too many people getting together to talk about things. It's quite scary, really. And I'm probably being watched at this very moment because there are CCTV cameras everywhere. I read somewhere that Britain was one of Europe's worst countries when it came to CCTV cameras, but I think China might lead the world in them. They're everywhere. Probably hidden in these trees as well. I may not agree with the political system here in China, but there are some things that the Chinese government do very well. For example, there are no homeless people, no beggars. I don't know why. I hate to think what might happen to them. Maybe the state actually provides them accommodation, who knows? You just don't know. But I think I've seen one, and he was in a subway station and he was probably moved along very quickly and he looked just disabled as well, but you don't get it. You just don't get it. You don't get graffiti, maybe because Big Brother's watching all the time. No graffiti whatsoever. and the place is spotless. There is no litter anywhere. People don't drop litter in the first place. There's no litter to be picked up by cleaners. It's just spotless. The only thing that cleaners seem to collect are leaves. So the Big Brother system does work very well when it comes to that. I also like the way that the government has actually, I think they've enforced this, the use of electric bikes in city centres. I don't know what it's like outside of the cities because I haven't been there, but city centres, they're all electric bikes, and I think that's a brilliant idea. And I wonder whether you could actually enforce something like that if you didn't have a one-party system with no opposition. But I do like the way they've done that. Right, the park is down here. For some reason I've got a cross on my map and I can't remember why. So I need to go and find out why. See you soon. This is Jinhuacha Park. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Straight in the gate and you have this beautiful little area. This is the area of memories or something. Other things I like about China. Great food, very little crime, that could be due to the CCTV cameras, and when they do parks, they do them really well. Well, that was a lovely little detour. I'm glad I did it. Okay, let's go exploring. I'm going to do some Zen navigating now. I have no idea roughly where I'm going, but I think I'll head west because I know there's a metro station there. Let's see what we can discover together. Well, I'm heading back to the hotel now for a badly needed shower. Of course, tonight I'm taking you out to dinner to Food Street. What's the noise like in the centre of Nanning? Absolutely nuts. Right, shower time. I'll see you in 2 hours. Don't be late.